Hey, wondering if you guys can hear me. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna set up my audio. Um, mm, okay, hold on. Browser source, maybe audio capture. Okay, you guys can hear me now? Great. Hi guys. Oh my gosh, this is such a fucked up situation that I literally just heard about today, and I heard about it this afternoon. Um, and I'm doing an emergency stream to talk about it because this is it's kind of absurd, honestly. This, as you guys can see, this YouTuber named Mr. Patrex, who who was releasing these like K-pop Demon Hunters parody videos. Um, apparently got, and by the way, we don't have all the facts yet, but this channel reportedly got 3 of their videos blocked by content ID. That's what it says. That's what it says in this. This was from 17 hours ago. So at how long ago? Okay, how long ago was 17 hours ago? It's now May 7th, 12 a.m. Eastern time. So 17 hours before that, that was like 17, 5 plus 7, no. 17 plus 7. Okay, it would have been 7 a.m. 7 a.m. my time, Eastern time. And they put up this post, they put up this community post saying, "Hey guys, today I was supposed to release a new video, but instead this happened. 3 of my videos have been blocked due to a content ID claim." I think it's meant to say content ID. Later today, I will make a video explaining everything in detail. I made a dispute and we will see how that goes, but for now, I don't think this is going to end well. I'll probably make all of my K-pop Demon Hunters videos private until the dispute is solved. If the dispute fails, they will stay private forever. And you can see these 3 videos that are a little bit, so you can see the video thumbnails and then all of them say blocked, ineligible for monetization due to copyright. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this user interface myself because I don't really upload to YouTube very much, but this is what, from the screenshots that I've seen, this is what it looks like. And this is, yeah, and that was earlier today, I guess yesterday now. Um, and the and the and now it's like 6. There was another post, a pinned comment from 6 hours ago that says, "Well, guys, it's over. The channel will be permanently removed. Edit, I can't make a video or even a community post. I'm simply completely done. I also can't make a new YouTube account as I will be banned from YouTube forever." So I don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes, but it sounds like the user uploaded made the appeal, and then the appeal got rejected, and they got 3 copyright strikes, which resulted in the termination of their channel. But as I'm gonna discuss, those strikes are not legitimate. Like, and in the comments, in the replies below that, there's people who uploaded gathered 20 of the videos from this channel and uploaded them to Google Drive. So I have them open in a tab over here, which
wow, a whole
we could look at this, but we might look at that later. And then, you know, there's please tell me you're kidding. Yeah, please tell me you're kidding. This is like, yeah, and there's like other things like, oh, here's a twist. Okay. At Mr. Patrex, there's a commenter in your comment section that has a pretty brief explanation of why this might be happening. From what I read, not sure. A scammer might be intact with deleting K-pop Demon Hunters YouTube content. I hope there might be a chance into fixing this, but if not, my best of prayers to you since I really enjoyed your content, and I hope it's not too late. I hope you see their comment on my reply. Show less. And then there's 3 likes already. And another person replied, yes, this looks intentional. And, oh, the commenter is named QTM Slim Shady, by the way. I hope this message spreads because getting copyright claimed for content all of a sudden is definitely suspicious, but we'll see. And then that user said, I actually made a similar comment at the same time as you did, I just didn't know of a culprit. Yeah, I just knew something was odd about this. I mean, I'm reading these comments for the first time. This comment thread here. But it's just, I mean, YouTube's algorithm and moderation system has been off recently. This person might be talking about how, like, channels have been getting demonetized, like, what's the one? There was this animator who made music videos. I'm kind of forgetting the name right now. Eddie FRB. Yeah, Eddie FRB made these. I might open this up in a new tab. I don't know. Eddie FRB. And then we'll just like, okay. So they made these like animated music videos of like rap battles. Of like, oh, Toothless versus Pikachu. Toothless is a character from How to Train Your Dragon. And these are really like, they kind of jab at the original content, at the original works that the characters come from. This is Mr. Crab versus Tom Nook. But this channel was demonetized because of alleged repetitive content, which, you know, the folks at YouTube didn't explain exactly what content was allegedly repetitive, and got the channel demonetized. But some people have like suspected that it's the video shorts, but this wasn't a copyright claim issue. Like, sure, you know, like they're, you know, sure these videos are like using potentially copyrighted characters or character designs, but like they're usually in the spirit of fair use. So like, and this moderation action came from YouTube itself, so it's not a copyright strike. But this is happening, and it would have had to, you know, somebody was complaining that it was like that the claim was coming from, the copyright claims were coming from Netflix. Somebody was like, I guess you weren't ready for a takedown, like referring to the lyrics of I don't think you're ready for the takedown in the song from K-pop Demon Hunters. So like what's going on? Oh, YouTube never lets us have any fun. Okay. Yeah, I realize that. Yes. Damn you, Netflix. So at this point, we don't know if it was Netflix that claimed the videos or issued the strikes. But regardless of who it was, maybe it was a scammer. You know, maybe the claimant was a scammer. Is alleged to be a scammer. So the forever hit me in my chest. And yeah, like, oh, fuck Netflix, fuck the copyright system. Yeah. People give YouTube 1-star rating. Literally, if Mr. Patrex is copyright, then YouTube should just shut down. Like, this isn't about copyright law itself. There is something else going on, because these parodies, like these videos are parodies. That tends to that tends to weigh in favor of fair use. And I'll get to that in a bit. We can talk about like the US code and what it says about fair use in just a bit, but first I want to talk about the situation. And and like besides that, like like the K-pop Demon Hunters Netflix channel has, channel on Instagram. They've been like interacting with a lot of they've been like reposting and interacting with and commenting on a lot of people's fan videos, including music videos that use a lot more copyrighted material from the movie than this does. And like, so I have a hard time believing that it's them. Like, they're not really, like, they're not doing the. I have a hard time believing that Netflix is the one that issued these claims. But they could be. And I guess I'll play this video because I think that like it'll probably give some more context. Because I was watching it before.
Alright, so I'm hoping that y'all can see, but as you can see, Mr. Patrex said that 3 of his videos have been copyright blocked. And he did make a dispute for the claims, and he said that if the dispute fails,
lower the volume a
then
bit.
these videos will be privated forever. And if you go to his videos, all of his K-pop videos have been either privated or deleted. So I'm assuming that means that the disputes were unfortunately rejected, which is very, very unfortunate. If y'all have watched my live stream before, then you would know that I am a big fan of Mr. Patrick's content. He is a really funny YouTuber.
Yeah, so just for context, these there's 2 main channels that do these types of videos. There's like Skitposts, formerly known as K-pop Demon Hunter Shitposts, which I can maybe show some of their videos yet also, but they tend to like they had this whole series of like kind of sexually suggestive parodies of K-pop Demon Hunters that felt like very like low effort shitposty videos that would have like AI voice clones of, well, it would be like still screenshots of the still images of stills from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie to illustrate the characters alongside like voice cloned dialogue in like and like text overlays that look like image macros. Like I could show you an example. It's not here, but here's like one of the like K-pop Demon Hunter Shitpost is one of the channels that did these, and they since renamed to Skitposts since they started doing like, what is this? Death Note videos as well. But they would do like I might need to update the episode description. Okay, vulgarity. Do I need to update the episode the stream description content classification? Maybe. Yeah, we'll just put it there. We'll add sexual themes because of the content that we're talking about here. So let me just update the stream description there. Okay. So this is like the Freak Boys strike again. Freaktrex hunts down the Saja Boys. Ruginu gets freaky. The Freak Boys and Huntrix sleep over. Zoe Suri's freaky ass prequel. The Freak Boys and Huntrix play Uno. Christmas presents. Miro Mabby gets freaky in a closet. It's just a lot of these like they're parodying the I might show you like 1 or 2 minutes of this content. But yeah, when I deck the halls with his okay, we're gonna get we're not gonna get ads here. Okay, sorry guys. Gotta adjust the volume again. Okay, so they just start like this, right? You've got the like static, the like video player kind of thing. It's Christmas in Seoul, and this looks like an edited version of the like that's like the makeshift stadium that the Saja Boys created on. Do I have like a laser pointer? This here is the like. It's the stadium that the Saja Boys constructed or conjured at the base of Namsan Tower, which is this tower over here, and that's the place where the final showdown of the movie took place. Okay, I'm gonna just pause it on this screen. So that's where like the Your Idol scene. And then, Huntrix faces off against the Saja Boys and Grima toward the end of the movie. And they just like edited, maybe they might have used AI to make this image here, but it looks like they edited the image to look like it was to make it look like everything is covered in snow. So
wake the hell up.
Yeah, so right off the bat, profanity, right? And then the, boom, like, Vine boom sound effect.
Good morning, everyone.
What the hell?
Why are you
Again, like, another boom, right?
so moody, Ginu?
Because it's 4 in the fucking morning.
4 in the fucking morning. Curses, right?
Merry Christmas to you too.
Guys, it's way too early to be up.
Jeez. Where is y'all's Christmas spirit? It'll be here in 5 more hours.
I'm gonna go wake up Mira and Abby.
Yeah, if you want to die. Waking up Mira this early is a speed run to be strangled to death.
I can't
Yeah,
think of a better way to die.
I don't know how much more of this video I'm gonna show you guys, but, like, because this parody is likely copyrighted as well, as a derivative work, but, just trying to stay within fair use here, because we're talking about fair use.
Than to be choked out by Mommy Mira.
Same not good.
This is like a friggin' sound effect. Like, what is that?
No lie.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
Can we open the presents now?
No.
It's still too early. How do
Hey,
you know if Santa's even come yet?
come.
Already checked.
Of course you did.
What is all this babbling about? I can hear y'all from my room.
So this is the mother figure in K-pop Demon Hunters.
We were just waking up Rumi and Ginu to open up our presents.
Well, isn't that just adorable?
Just make sure to not wake up Mira this early.
What is all this fear of Mira about?
Surely it can't be that bad, right?
How about you go ahead and test it?
I bet you my left ball sack.
What? Bet that shit.
That's really gross.
Yeah, can't we think of something better to bet?
Okay, I might scroll over to scroll past to like later in the video.
That's just fucking Antarctica.
What?
Instead of checking for who's naughty or nice, he checks for who is freaky or not.
So why did he give me a present then?
While Santa rewards the good, Diddy Claus punishes the freaky.
Diddy Claus? Oh, as in like Diddy the rapper? Oh my god.
Don't open that gift.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, let's just open up the gifts we got for each other for now. Okay, I'll go. This one says it's from Mystery.
Opening.exe.
A dog collar.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that's just like more of the format, like the file form. The file format. No, yeah, the file extension, but like the video format is just like something.jpg or something.exe in like that's like a meme, I think.
Oh, a dog collar.
Wait, what?
I got you a new one, so you can use it on me.
You know me so well.
I'm not even gonna bother.
Wait, Zoe, I thought you already had one for Mystery.
Yeah, but we lost it in the battle with Freak Ma.
Remind me again.
When we returned back here to fight Freakma, I didn't know that this Zoe snuck through the portal.
So when we tried to out-freak Freak Ma,
Hold on, let me just check 1 second. Am I actually streaming on Twitch? Yes, I am.
I may or may not have tightened the collar a little too much, and...
I nearly died.
But more importantly...
Sorry, it looks like I'm a little under the weather. The dog collar...
Dog collar broke.
Yeah, so this is like sexual innuendo, I think.
Y'all are weird.
Anyways, why don't you open up my gift to you too?
Okay. That's just like more of that. Get a load of this, ho
Ho
ho.
ho ho.
Okay. It's just pineapple.
I know what type of person you are.
Get a load of this ho ho ho.
Okay. I'm gonna find I'm just gonna find another video to get it. I think we get a sense of like, oh. I think we have a sense of like what these videos are like, so I probably won't go too deep into it. Yeah. Yeah. You guys get the gist. So are we gonna like maybe watch the rest of this video?
I'm sorry about my...
Yeah, so this is we're going back to the video talking about the incident.
voice. I'm a little sick right now, but... Yeah, if you watched my live stream before, then you would know that I'm a fan of Mr. Patrex content, and he was just a really funny YouTuber, and the fact that now he's in this copyright situation, and he had to delete or private all of his videos, that's just really sad. And
Speed it up a little bit.
In his post, he did say that he was gonna make a video explaining what happened, and yeah, I'm hoping he's gonna release the video today, or like, soon, cause...
Which looks like it didn't happen, but this was probably before Mr. Patrex made that comment saying that their channel was being terminated.
We need more information on this, because he deleted all of his videos, or privated all of them, so...
Privated all of the K-pop Demon Hunters related videos, because there's still, like, a few other ones for other franchises that are not, that are still up, that are still not private. And then, like, the shorts are still up, so, what is this? Oh. Maybe they're also private now, but a few of them, like... Yeah, so this is just, like... I think it's a reaction to Rayami's Instagram story or something.
We definitely need more information on that, and I'm honestly hoping he comes back, but unfortunately the chances do not really seem likely at the moment.
Yeah, looks like it right now. I don't know what's going on. Again, like, not all the facts are out yet,
As I'm
so...
recording this video, and if this is truly the end of Mr. Patrick's career, if this is goodbye, then Mr. Patrex was a great member of the K-pop community. He was awesome, he was hilarious, and if this is truly goodbye, he was awesome, he made amazing content for the community, and we will never forget his content. Also, YouTube, what the fuck? What part of Mr. Patrick's videos are worthy of being copyright blocked? He doesn't even use, like, actual footage. Like, I mean, he does use footage, but he doesn't, show clips of the movie. It's literally just screenshots and AI voices.
Yeah, and like I've seen like video essays about K-pop Demon Hunters that use even more copyrightable elements of the movie. Like, I mean, I assume that every frame of the video was every frame of the movie was likely crafted and animated by hand, and there's something like I assume that every frame of the movie is copyrighted, but like, you know, you have like, let's see, K-pop Demon Hunters analysis. Just like if you look at this, right, like it's short clips of it's just like a bunch, like a lot of these like video essays, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters video essays are just like short clips of the movie stitched together with some narration and background music over them. That's a pretty standard format for video essays. And you know, they're like video essays are, you know, they're like a type of documentary. I feel like what they're really doing is like commenting on the work, which is like one of the like prototypical purposes of fair use, right? Notwithstanding the provisions of section yada yada, the fair use of a copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not an infringement of copyright, right? And then there's a bunch of factors that come into play when determining whether a particular unlicensed, unauthorized use of a work is a fair use or an infringement, which we can get deeper into later in this video. But yeah, like just to, you know,
in many ways,
like there you have like a little bit, you have some of the audio from the movie, you have like
fans are the engine of the story. They're what
just like voiceover over the clips, right?
powers Huntrix, and they're what the Saja boys seek to take from them.
But in all of these cases, like you're using limited portions, you're using clips from the movie, but they're still limited portions of the movie as a whole, and you're using them for a transformative purpose. Like this kind of video essay is generally fair use, but somehow it just feels really sus that. So going back to this,
It's not even the actual voices. It's a fucking AI like YouTube. Y'all are.
Yeah, and it's not even the voices. Like the way that I guess we should talk about this. So
Leaking. Like there's no part of his videos that are worthy of being copyright blocked. Like.
Yeah. So in terms of fair use, like it's pretty clear. Like it's pretty clear that these are quote unquote derivative works.
I don't know.
Sorry, it's way too loud.
For someone with a murder.
That these are derivative works of K-pop Demon Hunters. That's pretty obvious. But like they can still, but they're still fair use, and like the thing that like courts go into is, you know, the purpose and character of the use, including whether such a use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. I don't know if this channel was monetized, but you know, this factor also includes whether a use is transformative. And what does that actually mean? Like YouTube. So go on Wikipedia and look, I guess. So transformative use. All right. Basically there was this court case in 1994 that actually established that a commercial parody can qualify as a fair use. And they specifically said that the fact that that the user is making money off of a derivative work, like, you know, does not preclude fair use, because if if a use of a work is transformative, then that weighs pretty heavily in favor. And they specifically said that parodies are transformative. So let's just go and So what they said is, roughly speaking, the court found that the more transformative the new work, the less significant the other three factors. And the other three factors being, whether it's being commercialized, the nature of the copyrighted work. So whether it's, whether it's a more kind of creative kind of work, like K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely a more like a creative artistic work than something like a news broadcast. The amount and substantiality of the portion used of the work in relation to the whole work, right? And as this guy was saying, as this person was saying, these parody videos use very limited portions of the movie. Like it's often just still images, not even literal dialogue from the movie or background or music. It's just it's just character voices, right? And then the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. And this is honestly, this one's a little bit beyond my depth. Like, just to be clear, I'm not a lawyer. But yeah, the effect on the market, this tends not to matter as much when you're making something that when you're making a new work that is transformative, rather than something that adds a new meaning or message, as opposed to merely superseding the objects of the original creation. That I can pull up the quote where that came from in just a bit. So where did they say? So under the first of the four Section 107 factors, the purpose and character of use, the inquiry focuses on whether the new work merely supersedes the objects of the original creation, or whether and to what extent it is transformative, altering the original with new expression, meaning, or message. The more transformative the new work, the less will be the significance of other factors like commercialism that may weigh against defining a fair use. So like a parody, and maybe it talks about it here too. A parody is not a market substitute, right? There's no no presumption or inference of market harm that might find support in some other. This is the Betamax case, which was another case involving fair use. Is applicable to a case involving something beyond mere duplication for commercial purposes. The cognizable harm is market substitution, not any harm from criticism. So this is saying this is not some like unauthorized sequel to K-pop Demon Hunters. It's not, it's not like bootleg merchandise. It's not something that it's not like a market that the copyright holder of a work would normally try to exploit. It's parody and criticism and commentary on the original work, right? It's you're not really, as to parody pure and simple, it is unlikely that the work will act as a substitute for the original, since the two works usually serve different market functions. That's exactly the case here. So, and then you can look more into the court case. if you want, but like all of these, I mean, okay, this factor very, very, very slightly weighs against fair use, but all of the other factors in this analysis here weigh in favor of fair use in the case of these videos. And it's kind of crazy that they were taken down, you know? Like, what is, like, and again, we don't know if it was Netflix or somebody else, some scammer that issued the copyright claims and now the copyright strikes. But yeah, like, but there you go. Like, it's, okay, what am I gonna do now? But if Mr. Patrex were to appeal, and it sounds like they kind of gave up. They were like, yeah, I'm gonna try to make a dispute, and then we'll see how that goes. And for now, I don't think this is gonna end well. It looks like the dispute might have been rejected by whoever filed it, and they've basically given up. They've basically accepted that Mr. Patrex has basically accepted that their channel is just going to be gone, and there's nothing that they can do or will do from this point forward. Which is just, like, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. Right? Sorry, I have a bit of a cough.
YouTube is tweaking. Like, this is not...
Yeah, YouTube is tweaking, exactly. Like I just went out of my fucking way to explain, it's fair use. Hands down. Hands fucking down, 100 billion% fair use.
Not how the copyright law works.
This is not how the copyright law works.
See, maybe that's how it works for Nintendo, but we don't really talk about that.
Oops, sorry.
Alright, so I hope...
Nintendo, so that is a reference to another YouTube channel that got copyright struck this past, maybe last week.
Well, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah. So that's that, I guess. The whole channel's getting pulled. So that was a reaction to this video. Yeah. So like, I'm kind of tired. Like, this is kind of a crazy situation, and I'm a little shook. Okay. And yeah, I searched for. Oh wow. Okay. Somebody actually uploaded the. I didn't even have to refresh the page. Somebody actually uploaded the Mr. Patrex K-pop Demon Hunter skits to the Internet Archive. And okay, a DVD disc image ISO ready to be burned contains episodes 1 through 5, remastered episodes 1 to 2 of Mr. Patrex's K-pop Demon Hunter's funny skits. Widescreen 480p. Can't wait for somebody to upload the 1080p. I mean, maybe, with his permission, but it looks like, oh, what is this? What is this? This is like a DVD ISO. Huh, this is so interesting. Somebody actually made, so this is like a DVD screen, right? This is like, this might be like the title screen, and then like chapter selection, press, click on here to see this. This is cool as fuck. Alright, I hope somebody makes this. It would be real, I hope that somebody gets his permission to actually make this DVD, this like deluxe DVD of the Mr. Patrex skits. Maybe even throw in a little bit like. Maybe even throw in like the anti-piracy warning at the beginning. What does that look like? That would be like this would be hilarious. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to advocate that you guys do this without permission because this person likely owns the copyright to these videos, to these parodies. So, yeah. But the other thing that the other reason that this feels super fucking wrong to me right now is that, like, we have literally been through this. Okay? There was, back in the day, back in the day, there was, like, Viacom versus YouTube. There was, Viacom, like, 2005 or so, like, a lot, like, YouTube was getting a lot of copyright strikes, right? Like, from companies like Viacom, which was the owner of Nickelodeon. At the time, there were, like, a lot of SpongeBob shitposts, and they would allegedly have all these videos taken down, even if they're like clearly parodies and clearly fair use. And they even sued YouTube over it. So yeah, that happened. But but back in when was this? This was shoot. Okay. Back in 2017, might have been when it was settled or something. The original complaint was made in 2007. There was an amended complaint too, so maybe we'll look at the. So this is one where some amateur YouTuber uploaded a video of like Stephanie Lenz, that's her name. She made this she uploaded a 29-second video recording of her son dancing to the Prince song Let's Go Crazy. And this is the video. And Universal, which was the label for Prince, allegedly filed a copyright claim against Stephanie Lenz, and had the video taken down. And she not only went to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF, and not only appealed, sent a counter notification to YouTube, and within 10 to 14 business days after they get a counter notice, they're supposed to restore the video, otherwise they can be sued by the user, right? That is part of the DMCA safe harbor. She not only got the video restored by YouTube, but she took the extra step of suing Universal while represented by EFF to say that they should not have claimed the video in the first place. And this is this was under, I think, section, let's look at 512F of the DMCA. So misrepresentations. Any person who knowingly, materially misrepresents under the section that material or activity is infringing. So files a false copyright claim under the DMCA that they know is false, or that material or activity was removed or disabled by mistake or misidentification, meaning they filed a false counter notice shall be liable for any damages, including costs and attorney's fees, incurred by the alleged infringer, by any copyright owner or copyright owner's authorized licensee, or by a service provider, who is injured by such misrepresentation, as the result of the service provider relying on such misrepresentation in removing or disabling access to the material or activity claimed to be infringing. This is the part that applies to the Lenz case, or in replacing the removed material or ceasing to disable access to it. So that's what the lawsuit was over. And apparently, like, Lenz also retained another law firm here. And the case, according to EFF, the case raised the question of whether a copyright holder can use the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the DMCA, to take down an obvious fair use without consequence. And yeah, we just talked about Section 512F, which gives users the abilities to hold copyright owners accountable if they send a DMCA notice in bad faith. And in response, Universal argued that copyright owners should not have to consider fair use before sending DMCA takedown notices. And so apparently this went to district court, and then this was appealed to the Ninth Circuit, which the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, which includes California, Nevada, and a bunch of other states. And California, because like both Hollywood and Silicon Valley are based in California, the Ninth Circuit is where a lot of entertainment law and copyright law cases get heard. So yeah. So kind of not surprised. And so a Ninth Circuit opinion here is going to carry a lot of weight and be influential in other courts, in other court circuits. Yeah, and it says here, the Ninth Circuit rejected this argument, holding that the DMCA requires copyright owners to consider whether works are lawful fair uses before sending takedown notices targeting them. The appeals court made clear that fair use is not an infringement to be excused, but instead is not copyright infringement at all, which is what the statute says under fair use. The fair use of a copyrighted work is not an infringement of copyright. It's protected speech. And, the reason we have fair use under the Copyright Act is because of the First Amendment. You have the right to comment on other people's works. You have the right to quote other people's works while commenting on those works. You can tell I'm tired. The Ninth Circuit also ruled that, when considering claims under Section 512F, copyright holders should be held to a subjective standard. In other words, senders of false infringement notices could be excused so long as they subjectively believe that the material they targeted was infringing. EFF was disappointed with this aspect of the ruling, as it entails that a subjective belief in infringement can excuse a wrongful takedown notice, no matter how unreasonable that belief. So, as long as they subjectively believe that the material that they targeted was infringing, I don't know how that's going to apply if it turned out that Netflix was the one that sent these claims, which, again, I'm skeptical of. Excuse me. If it turned out that it was Netflix, and they were like, yeah, this looks like a parody, let's send, you know what, I think this is infringing, let's send a copyright claim anyway. I just don't know what, state of mind you have to be in to be confronted with videos like these and think that these are copyright violations. Like, reasonably think that these are copyright violations. Because they're clearly not. And, you know, I just don't know. I don't know if they would satisfy this test. And then it says, after the Ninth Circuit's ruling, both Lenz and Universal petitioned the Supreme Court for review. The Supreme Court denied both parties' petitions, and they later agreed to a settlement. So, that's the story. Yeah. So, back to just discussing. Yeah. And for what it's worth, I'm reading off of this EFF website. It is under the Creative Commons Attribution License 4.0. So, me reading off of it in this case might even be fair use, but we're just being a little extra careful here. So, yeah. So this all assumes, like, so this is like, if somebody at Netflix or somebody, you know, or like a contractor that sends out copyright claims for Netflix was the one that sent these claims out, they would be they might be subject to this test. But if, you know, in the event that the claims were actually sent by somebody who is not the copyright owner and is not authorized by the copyright owner, because as somebody else suggested, this might be, you know, they might have been sent by a scammer. Yeah. They might be a scammer. If that's the case, then, then the person who sent those claims might have sent them in violation of the DMCA. Because here, elements of the notification, of the takedown notification. To be effective under this subsection, a notification of claimed infringement must be a written communication provided to the designated agent of a service provider that includes, substantially, the following: a physical or electronic signature of a person authorized to act on behalf of the owner of an exclusive right that is allegedly infringed. So, this is all about, like, only the copyright owner can send, or their authorized representative can send a notification, can send a takedown notification in the first place. And then here's, you know, identification of the work, etc., etc. A statement that the complaining party has a good faith belief that the use of the material in the manner complained of is not authorized by the copyright owner, its agent, or the law. So that's the part, like, they have to say that. They have to say, I have a good faith belief that this activity, that, you know, the activity, the material being taken down is actually infringing and is not a fair use. And then finally, a statement that the information in the notification is accurate, and under penalty of perjury, that the complaining party is authorized to act on behalf of the owner of an exclusive right that is allegedly infringed. So, if this user, if the person that sent this claim, that sent these claims, well, this applies if these were DMCA takedowns, which it looks like they're not. It looks like they might actually just be, like, content ID claims. And under content ID, because like at first they were content ID claims, and it looks like they got escalated to strikes. But under the content ID process, I think there's like a flow chart somewhere. Yeah, okay, so there's one on Google's website, which is nice. If you disputed a content ID claim, so it looks like Mr. Patrex disputed the claims, but the claim was reinstated, you may be eligible to appeal this decision. If a content ID claim blocked your video, you may be able to skip the initial dispute step and start the process with an appeal. When you appeal a content ID claim, the person who claimed your video, the claimant, is notified and has 7 days to respond. And so, if you have a content ID claim, if you have a content ID claim here, it says that you can either accept the claim and do nothing, or you can dispute the claim, which then the claimant can either release the claim or reinstate the claim, and then you can either do nothing again, or you can appeal the claim. And if it's a block, if the claim resulted in blocking the video, then you can escalate directly to an appeal. And at that point, the claimant has to either release the claim or request a takedown. And it also states that they can request a takedown at any time. But this might not have been, so again, we don't really know what happened, but it said dispute claim and then reinstate claim, so whoever made these claims might have clicked reinstate. Because, if they were a scammer, this is the only step that they could legally take, at least within within YouTube's Content ID process. Because if this was an appeal, they would have had to either release the claim or request a takedown, which they can only do if they represent the copyright owner. And you can check if you're eligible to appeal on your channel features page. If you're not eligible, appeal a reinstated claim. And I have heard, okay. The escalate to appeal option can provide a quicker resolution to the overall dispute process. Since claimants have 7 days to respond to appeals, it also means that your video can be viewable on YouTube as quickly as possible. Bear in mind that if a claimant rejects an appeal, they can submit a copyright removal request. If that copyright removal request is valid, your video would be removed from YouTube and your channel will get a strike. Okay. What the claimant can do, and you often end up getting a copyright strike. From what I've heard, if you dispute the claim and the claimant reinstates the claim, you often end up getting a strike in that situation. And so it's possible, though we don't have specifics yet, it is possible that that this user got 3 copyright strikes and then ended up getting terminated. So, yeah. If you're okay, yeah, and then it also says here, if you're confident that your appeal was rejected due to a mistake or misidentification of your content, including fair use cases, you can submit a counter notification. A counter notification is a legal request for YouTube to reinstate a video that was taken down for alleged copyright infringement. And then, if you have less than 3 active copyright strikes, you can wait 90 days, so, I don't know. Yeah. If I appeal multiple claims on a video at the same time, could that result in multiple copyright strikes? Okay. Can only get 1 strike at a time. I don't know. So yeah, so that's the Content ID process. This exists outside of the DMCA. So just to be clear, this is not the DMCA, but yeah, and okay, I was just looking at some other, content on Instagram. Yeah. So, and this is the thing, like, I don't know. I mean, I really hope this is not the end of the road for this channel. Like, say what you will, say what you will about AI generated content. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you don't like AI content. I don't care if you dislike AI generated or assisted content at this point. This is about fair use. This situation is about fair use and freedom of speech. So I support this person's right to make these videos. Under the fair use doctrine. And I think I've said my piece here, honestly. But other things that I want to say, like I also just want to mention that, if you're disputed, if there are resources, there are organizations that fight for us, that fight for creators, for independent creators, and so some of them, like, I'll just point to a few. One of them is we discussed the EFF before. They have the Electronic Frontier Foundation. They do a lot of stuff about, like, turnkey totalitarian, so like surveillance and social media moderation, content moderation policies, and they just did a new book about privacy. They have done other, like, I'll find their post about Content ID, about YouTube's Content ID system, but they can I, like, search maybe? Deep links. Okay, deep links blog maybe. Filter by type maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so so this was the like documentary. This was the report that the EFF did about YouTube's Content ID system, where back in December 2020, where they talked to a lot of content creators like H Bomber Guy, Todd in the Shadows, case study, Lindsay Ellis, and like they say it pretty straight, like they say it pretty bluntly. How Content ID dictates expression on YouTube, practically fair use has no effect. And we're seeing this play out in real time on this channel, for this channel. Like, I cannot make this shit up. Okay? And then the other, I think I just want to also bring up the, what do you call it? There's a few other orgs. There's like public knowledge. So they also do, they also focus on like digital rights issues like copyright reform and content moderation. So, unfortunately, major rights holders like record labels and book publishers, yada, yada, yada. Copyright law has been weaponized against activists, researchers, and creators. Corporate rights holders and bad actors alike have used powerful tools, such as takedown notices under the DMCA, to force competitors offline and remove criticism from the internet. these same rights holders are now fighting for the ability to block access to websites, which is, there's something else going on. This is like, there's like a law that's being considered by, was being considered by Congress, that would, block access to certain websites. It was similar to, I don't know if you guys are old, I don't know if you guys remember SOPA and PIPA back in 2011, 2012. There were huge protests against that. Now people are just so, like, honestly, people are so busy protesting everything that the Trump administration does. Like, it's, no kings, like the Trump administration honestly does something crazy every, like, month, if not every week. And so, like, we're just stretched way too fucking thin to protest this again. To do like SOPA Protest 2.0, Electric Boogaloo. It's just, but maybe it'll happen. And then this part, this is about the, so fix the DMCA, Congress, fix the DMCA. So this is actually about Title I of the DMCA, which is the anti-circumvention criticism, anti-circumvention provisions. But suffice to say that Public Knowledge is another organization that advocates for internet users and independent creators in support of copyright reform and DMCA reform. Another organization, I might want to, let me look at the Organization for Transformative Works. So they're another organization that I am a huge fan of. They specifically run Archive of Our Own, but they also advocate for fan creators in general, like specifically fan creators. And they have, their mission, let me just read their mission statement. We believe that fan works are transformative and that transformative works are legitimate. And as we've discussed in this video, Mr. Patrex' channel, the K-pop Demon Hunter shitpost videos, these are transformative works, right? Like if you are somebody who creates transformative works of any kind, like video essays, parodies, fan fiction, fan art, OTW is on your side. They are, like, they do a lot of, legal advocacy on behalf of content creators. And they do things like petitioning the they petitioned the U.S. Copyright Office to grant an exemption to the anti-circumvention provisions of the DMCA that basically enable people to make, like, non-commercial remix videos to circumvent copy protections on videos distributed online or in Blu-rays or DVDs for the purpose of making non-commercial remix videos. And they've also filed amicus briefs in various court cases, including, freedom of speech cases, copyright cases, even trademark cases. One of the most recent ones was actually Cox Communications versus Sony, Sony Music Entertainment, which was about, like, whether internet service providers can be held liable for their users' actions. And so they filed they, along with a bunch of other organizations, filed an amicus brief with the U.S. Supreme Court. So, you know, like, they're on your side. I think there's one last one. Well, there's the Recreate Coalition, which is just it's just a sort of like consortium of organizations that support copyright reform in general. There's like, Creative Commons, the Open Source Initiative, the Harry Potter Alliance, which shut down, I think, back in 2015 or 2018. EFF, Public Knowledge, and the Organization for Transformative Works are all part of this coalition. And so, yeah, if there's any organizations that I haven't mentioned that support copyright reform or like fair use and freedom of speech online, they're probably a member of this coalition. So yeah, that's all I've got for tonight. I really hope that this situation gets resolved and that we're able to enjoy these videos again in the near future. That's all, folks. Hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. Drink some tea, drink some, get some sleep, and keep fighting. Just please, like, if there's one thing that you take away from this last section of the video, just know that you are not powerless, and there are organizations fighting for us as independent and transformative creators. So, well, I'll be signing off now. Have a good night.